welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV. Jimmy, we're back again for another show. I want to welcome everybody. You're kind of quiet.
#1.
All right, I'm going to see if you're okay.
Because I was thinking to myself, every time I do one, I do a different kind of one. So I decided this would be the hesitated one.
Matthew, welcome. Loose Cannon, love you, baby. Good to see you. PJ, welcome. ESO, the man, he's in the house. Yeah. Maria Davis is here. Miss Maria, who communicates with me often and tells me her little secrets, which I love.
She tells you her little secrets.
Absolutely. Chris Lee in the house.
You don't tell me her little secrets. Well, then again, I haven't
because
asked.
they're secrets.
Oh, okay.
If Maria
I feel
tells
left
me
out,
I
Maria.
can't tell.
What's going on here?
That's what it's
all
all
that's
about.
Different. That's different. Okay. Your guys'
Roy
thing
Batiste,
is your
my
guys'
man,
thing.
welcome. Just going through the wrist. Rally, back here.
Okay.
Love it, love it.
Is Switzerland with us?
Switzerland not here, but Davio is. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys.
Hey, what is up, Davio?
So anyway, a lot of wrestling news going on, and, we're going to get into it. Okay. First, we want to say, Matty Ice, welcome. Super producer, how are you, sir? What's going on?
I'm doing good. Doing very well. How are you?
How's the new job going, by the way?
So far, I can't complain. It's been going very well. It's boring. That's about it.
Wow, look at you having a smooth first job. They made me fill up military batteries with acid.
Really?
That was my first job. And you know who worked there? Our good friend, Buddy Pinty. You remember him?
Buddy Pinty.
Buddy Pinty worked there. And he used to go back and forth on the forklift, and I felt very uneasy watching him operate that heavy machinery.
Wow.
Although he was good at it.
You never told me that story.
I just wondered if he'd get mad one day and just start forklifting everybody in the place.
You never told me that story, bro.
Yeah, it was my first job. Yeah.
And
it was school place, too. It was school place.
And Maddie's got his beautiful girlfriend in the house. Maddie?
Yes, my beautiful girlfriend.
Is that why you're
Max.
smiling? I can see it through the mask.
I got it. And
he's smiling.
Also in the producer room is our great artist.
Yeah.
Jeff Rumplick.
Yeah, we got our own Rembrandt over there. What's up, Jeff?
Yeah. Maria Davis says it's freezing, ice and rain.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, right? She's in the Pittsburgh area?
It's rough there.
Yeah. Oh, it sucks here, too.
Yeah.
It's been horrible. We really can't complain,
when you refer to a woman, should you always say, like, okay.
Yeah.
When you say...
I'm already getting guarded. Go ahead.
No. What I'm trying to say is like, do you always have to mention their beauty, or is that kind of disrespectful?
I don't think it's disrespectful if you genuinely
like the beautiful,
but you better pick the right. But you better pick the right spot, because you know how sensitive people are nowadays, and it depends on the person.
But like when I talk to a man, like, oh, Jeff Rumplick's in the house, I don't say the good-looking Jeff Rumplick.
Why not? Yeah, you've offended him. You might have a point there.
But
Monty.
no, but I'm saying, is that right, wrong?
Wait a second.
I don't want to offend people.
Is that Jeff or Chewbacca over there?
Chewbacca.
He's wearing a Chewbacca COVID mask.
All right, Jimmy. News: a Florida man took his grandson magnet fishing.
What?
Police are now investigating what they reeled in. Dwayne Smith and his 11-year-old grandson, Allender Callwalder, were out on a magnet fishing trip on January 30th in Homestead of the suburb of Miami, Florida.
Okay.
When within 5 minutes of their arrival, Callwalder reeled in 2 sniper rifles, received, and bolt carrier groups wrapped in shrink wrap.
Yeah.
What do you think?
First of all, is that why they went magnet fishing? They were looking for things to latch onto in the ocean.
I guess that's
this
magnet
is interesting.
Fishing.
I didn't even know what this was.
First of all, I don't think it's the ocean. All right.
Well, it's just, where were they then? I mean, it's in Florida. It's in a suburb of I guess a suburb of Oh, yeah, you're right. So what was it? A lake? This is weird.
I've never heard
know.
of magnet fishing
It's
either,
so
but it must be
bizarre.
something that you do.
Yeah, I guess so. And they came up with two weapons. All right, that's weird, Mike.
Mr. X in the house. No snow here in Phoenix.
What am I supposed
You lucky dog. Don the barber.
Yeah, well, Phoenix. Yeah.
The kid reeled in Hannibal's missing spike.
That's interesting. Okay.
That was pretty funny, dude.
Yeah, I think that is funny.
James Earl, cancel culture always exists. Guys, we're going to get into that because
God,
Monty is pissed off.
What?
Ric Flair announced a split from his 5th wife, Wendy Barlow. Ric Flair announced that he and his wife, Wendy Barlow, are ending their marriage.
5th wife.
The pair met in 1990s while both were in WCW. Barlow was his valet, Fifi the maid. They started dating after Flair's 4th marriage ended, got engaged in 2016, and married 2 years later. Barlow was by the two-time WWE Hall of Famer's side through his medical issues. Ric Flair credited his 61-year-old partner for his return to health. He has, and she's been through everything with him, with the Becky Lynch thing and the dark side of the ring. Yeah. And he tweeted, after taking some part apart, Wendy and I have decided to go our separate ways. Please respect our privacy and our families during this time. Thoughts on Ric Flair?
Can I ask you something strange?
Go.
Why would you get married?
Matthew Holland says Ric Flair is old.
Oh, he's not lying. By numerically, he's correct.
Okay.
Why would you do this 5 times? Get married 5 times? Well, what is there something wrong with me? I think that's insane. Isn't the definition of insanity repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result?
Can't disagree.
Why would you do this 5 times? And I think that's hilarious. I mean,
from what I understand,
you said he's been through everything, right? She's been through everything with him.
Right.
Let me really spell this out for you. No, she's been with him through everything after the 4th marriage ended in divorce in 2016, which was about 3 shovels ago with the snow.
Right.
What are you talking about? He's been with this 5th experiment for basically a wink. And I batlash. What are you talking? This is insane. He's insane.
Mr. X says they started dating after Flair's 4th divorce. Come on. He was banging her when they were married, when he was married to his 3rd wife.
Yeah, in the 90s. He met her in the 90s, and that's where it all started.
Not a great father.
Oh, good God. And really lousy to our good friend Shane Douglas. I watched a video earlier. He was trashing our buddy. Screw you, Ric Flair.
Wait, you watch?
That got me mad. I got to be honest. I don't know who.
You watch Woo Nation.
I don't know who the damn channel was, and I don't pay attention.
You're a liar.
Who's a Who Nation anyway? I don't even know who you're mentioning.
You watch all these shows.
Yeah. You're watching the guy who lives 3 blocks from us. Did you see what he did? No, you did. How do you know? There was only one live eye. It was you.
You know what the problem is? I got to be honest with you.
Nailed.
I think about Flair.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I think about that 30 for 30, and I think about his son Reed, who unfortunately passed away of a drug overdose.
Yes, yeah.
And knowing that, look, obviously it's his child, and you don't want to admit that they have problems and things like that. But this guy don't do anything right, dude. He doesn't do except be a wrestler.
Look,
he was a great wrestler.
Oh yeah.
And as a human being, between
Yeah.
twirling his penis and pushing and taking advantage of women,
helicopter
being
Harry.
divorced a million times, never being home for children.
Right.
Like, why have children if you're not going to look? It's okay to be married to your career.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with
Well,
it.
what got
We've
me-
discussed this before.
What got me angry about the Shane Douglas thing that I watched earlier, where Flair was trashing him, is that what is it? He's got a regular job now. What is he? A Walmart clerk? He starts making fun. Look. All that means is that Shane Douglas has become a regular person.
Was that what he was doing?
Now
He was busting on Shane Douglas for having a regular job?
He was ripping on him for having a regular job. And
But instead you should, owe the IRS a billion dollars
I mean,
and
there's
then
Shane
go to Vince
we've both
McMahon
met
and
Shane-
turn around and say, help me, and Vince helps him and does whatever he does.
Right, we've both met Shane Douglas. We know how intelligent of a man he is. It's like, lay off the guy. I mean, and you're right. Ric Flair's a spoiled, pampered rock star. And I guess he deserves it because, he's the Led Zeppelin of what he did. So I guess everything's okay, I really don't give a shit either way about what Ric Flair does in his personal life, but I hate when he talks shit about guys like Shane Douglas. I'm like, stop it. Remember where you came from. You weren't always Ric Flair. You weren't Ric Flair in high school. Shut the fuck up and remember where you came from. How about that? I don't give a fuck how big you get.
I'm not a big Flair fan,
and
dude.
you know how much I adore John Lennon, but apparently John Lennon was a rotten-ass father too, and that hurts me to say.
Wow.
And I know it's also none of my business, so I leave it be.
That's true.
And every time I hear John Lennon, I still love him as much as I ever did when I was a 3-year-old. But the fact that I know this, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, let it ruin my love for his music? I'm not going to do that. He didn't kill anybody. He just was a lousy
you're
dad.
being cancel culture.
Why? Because I'm not canceling him, and I am listening to him, no matter what everybody else melted down over. I'm not cancel culture. I'm like, fuck you, cancel culture.
Right.
Is what you really mean to say.
Well, to keep on the cancel culture thing, two judges on The Masked Singer
Thou shalt not
walked
judge.
off after Rudy Giuliani unmasked himself at the end of the show taping. Robin Thicke and Ken Young, I think I'm saying that right,
Who are these
walked off the stage following the revelation of Giuliani as a contestant in the popular Fox reality show in which contenders perform in a full costume until eliminated. The former attorney to the ex-president Donald Trump and the former New York mayor was taping the episode and expected to air next month, the source said, without providing additional detail.
Now, what are you telling me? These people walked out because of his political ties over the years? Is that what this is?
Seems like it.
Is that how we sum this up? I'm not working with Giuliani because he's this, that, and the other thing?
Well, it's the game. The thing is,
Okay.
they sing and then they're in their mask and you try to get. I think,
Right.
Maddie, do you ever watch that show?
The hell is the
All right,
Masked
so I'm going to
Singer?
take a guess, or maybe Jeff. It's like I guess that you have to guess who the singer is, and if fans could tell us if
Right.
I'm right or wrong, I don't know.
Yeah.
But when did Giuliani become a bad guy? He cleaned up New York.
Yeah, I understand.
mean, when did this
I
happen?
understand that. We grew up with Rudy. We know what Rudy did for New York back when we were younger men. We know. That doesn't change the fact that this is the world we're unfortunately living in right now, where, this happens to both sides of the coin, you're judged instantaneously because who your friends are. Rudy Giuliani is.
But when do you make a political
aligned.
stance during
Listen,
a fucking
you want to know
game
when
show?
it started. I'm telling you when it
All right,
started.
good.
And I don't necessarily agree with it, but it started the moment Rudy Giuliani was known to be completely associated with Don. And that's all there is. Ex-President Donald Trump, to make you...
Thank you.
You know, I know that's how you like to refer
Thank
to
you.
him, so I am giving you that respect. But the bottom line is that when you became aligned with Donald Trump, the ex-president, you are either going to be loved or hated. The end. This is how polarizing ex-President Trump was. Okay? And to be fair, this is also somewhat how polarizing Barack Obama was too. So, and notice I'm saying it's both sides of the coin. People going absolutely batshit nowadays. You are not allowed to like Reagan or Clinton. Like we were allowed
Right.
to like Reagan or Clinton. We were allowed that. We afforded all of each other that. We let each other breathe. We knew that maybe we don't agree with everything each other thinks, but live and let live. Don't nag to death like we do today. I'm getting excited now. All right, because that's basically what is happening now.
Phil's there, and he goes, "Didn't Robin Thicke grope? I forget the mantra in his video shoot. Absolutely,
Right.
But he has the audacity
Right.
to walk out,
Dude, it's
Where's the
happening.
respect? Where's the
There is
respect?
no more
Where's the
respect. There is none, because they don't show any, but they want it. This is the age of instant gratification. What's in it for me? Give to me. Me. I'm special. I'm an individual. You know, it was a hell of a lot more collective before these machines invaded our homes. All right? And I'm talking about computers, and I'm talking about your
James
phone,
Earl-
and I'm
James-
talking about your attention span and love for another person.
James Earl
It's
says
totally changed.
while he was
And it
running
sucks.
for mayor,
Go ahead.
he was at a cop rally, allowing cops to yell out racial slurs. So yeah, a lot of us don't like him. I've never heard that.
Interesting.
I honestly, I've never.
What am
heard
I gonna
that.
say?
I just know that he cleaned up the
Interesting.
streets in New York.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right?
We know what we know, and others have experienced
And
other things.
now we have
you know.
two cops that walk in and do something, and they get unloaded on, and they're dead.
Right. Or if you're an innocent girl and you're serving at a Wendy's thing overnight, you're shot to
And
death.
at Burger King, and you're murdered for $100.
You're murdered for $100.
Right.
Yeah. But don't concentrate on stuff like that. Concentrate on the things that really don't.
Mr. X says there's no term as ex-president as far as a position or a title goes.
Yeah,
Each former
president.
president is still president.
Right.
No matter.
Fair enough.
He's 100%
Fair
correct.
enough.
Thank you for that, sir.
Yep,
You
fair
are
enough.
right.
President Donald Trump.
Former
President.
Former
Donald.
President
That's how it should
Donald
be
Trump.
said. Former
Yep,
President
that is.
Barack Obama, et cetera, et cetera.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Yep. Makes sense to me.
To the right is the start of the show,
Where?
Mr. Jimmy
Oh, to the
Farrow.
right. That's this way. That's a chair over there. I don't know about that, but hi. How you doing, folks? Go on.
Fired up here, this can.
You got me going with these ridiculous subjects. This shit.
But this is not-
But
this
tell
is
me
America.
I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. When we were kids growing up, and you had to be in when the street lights started dimming down,
Mm-hmm.
and you said goodbye to the friends you had been playing physically, hanging out with all day, whether it was baseball or whatever it was you were doing, and you said goodbye to them. It was a lot more real than today, where I could just pick up the phone. I don't even have to see you. Hey, how you doing? Let me send you a text. How's it going there, buddy? There was a higher level of appreciation when you had time to spend with people back then, because you couldn't just get them in the middle of the night. I don't
Davio
know,
says
man.
if I was a
It's
producer
not
and you
the
walked
same.
out, I would take that as a voluntary quit. I agree.
Right,
It's like you don't like someone, deal with it.
right.
Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Ric Flair. I think as a human being, he's probably not one of the greatest people in the world.
Right. Who cares?
Right? He's a drunk.
Not thrilled, but who cares?
He's a carouser.
Right.
He wasn't a good father.
Right.
He's not a good husband.
Right.
Right?
Wait a
He's
minute. Are you
taken-
talking about Ric Flair or Gene Simmons?
Well, you could put
You
both
see
in
where
the
I'm
same.
going with this?
I
right?
understand.
And I love Gene Simmons. I'm sorry.
Mr. X wants to know, are those Lucky Stripes non-filter?
Oh, here we go. Yes, they are, sir. They are Lucky Strike non-filters.
I think Farrow was magnet fishing. He got you.
Yeah, look what I caught.
He got you,
And
Mr.
they're
X.
not even wet. these cigarettes. They're good to go.
I'd like to thank the band that sings the theme song for the Monte The Pharaoh. Our own Jimmy Farrell, along with his partner Bart Griggs, make up the band Wisteria Hall.
Wait a minute. You promised that you would do it. Do it.
Bartman.
That was absolutely putrid. That was yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Boo.
Yeah, boo. Yeah, Jeff. Boo. Boo. Jeff is booing through the mask. He's chewing through the mask. The Chewbacca boo. But all right. You know what, Matt? You want to give me one? Can you give me one? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Bartman.
What was that?
I
That
think
sounded like a
mine
timid.
might have been better.
What? They were both lacking.
All right,
the
let's hear it.
energy.
What's it
Yeah,
supposed
we
to
got to
be?
hear it from the one
All
and
right,
true.
we'll set it up again. What was it again?
Our own Jimmy Farrell, along with his partner Bart Griggs, make up the band Wisteria Hall.
Bartman!
There you go.
That's it.
They sing such songs as "In My Dreams," "This Life," "Not Far Behind," "Here Comes the Rain," and you can find their music on the Wisteria Hall YouTube page.
Yeah, that's
like and subscribe. Go to
it.
Spotify,
Like it.
Apple Music, Reverb Nation. If you didn't know it, you are watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh. You can catch Monte The Pharaoh on the Monte The Pharaoh YouTube page, the Monte The Pharaoh Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, and
That's
newly to the Amazon Music.
Okay.
I'd also want to thank... Oh, also catch us on Twitch
Yeah,
TV.
don't forget the cable.
And if you're lucky enough to live in New York,
Yeah, lucky.
Sorry, my script is screwed up here. You think I would know it by heart by now?
You think you would.
Channel 115 every Tuesday from 9:30 p.m. and then channel 115 on Saturday, again Saturday at live at 11:30 p.m.
Right.
Catch us on channel 20 on Tuesdays at 1 a.m. And I also want to thank the fans out there where we are presently ranked as number 9
Not bad, bro.
pro wrestling broadcast.
it's a big world out
and
there,
you
too.
could hit that
That's not
link.
bad. Not bad.
Real quick, we're
is
going to
this?
take... What do we got here? What do we got here? Oh,
This is what I got. Do you got this?
oh yeah, that's coming up.
That's after the commercial?
Yeah, I think we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to have a little discussion where the fans out there owe Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast an apology, and we'll be asking for it after this commercial break.
Very good. We'll see you in a second, folks, with the apology. That's right, folks. Canine Corral for all your dog daycare and overnight care. Call 631-549-1544. That's 631-549-1544. Jeff Quest, graphics design, custom vinyl lettering, and all your art and video needs. 516-317-8204. That's for Jeff Quest, graphic design.
One pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, produced out of Indie Music TV every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. A few questions out there. James Earl wants to know. Mickey James, who's on Impact, now made of wrestling history, appearing at the Royal Rumble in her Impact Women's Championship. What do you guys think of that?
I thought that was fantastic. I loved it. I was surprised. I was like, wow, look at Vince letting Impact get a free plug. Interesting.
Mr. X says Wisteria Hall on Spotify. Glad that they decided to stand a platform and not like crybabies like Neil Young, an old washed-up hippie.
Shot across the bow towards Neil Young. Wow, rough. Hey, you forgot Joni Mitchell. Just saying.
WAKRP in Cincinnati. You want to mention the passing of
that was
Howard?
Really, that was really rough, man. This past week, Howard Hessman, known as Dr. Johnny Fever from WKRP in Cincinnati, passed away. I'm not sure how old he was, but I think he did okay on the report card.
He did.
You know.
So I said before, after the commercial break, We want an apology from the fans out there. There were a few people out there that told us that we were wrong about Blaze dumping Hannibal,
and we were being
and
mean.
it seemed and it seemed after the pressure that we applied, Hannibal found out that he probably had to go on video and publicly announce that he broke up with Blaze. Don't ask me why you would do that, but he did.
Somebody crumbled like a cornflake.
Like a cornflake.
Yeah, he did.
So guys, I got to tell you, we listen. I'm not trying to say that we're experts in any matter. We're fans, but we do know a lot of
wrestling folk?
a lot of wrestling folk,
and
we do have a lot of inside information.
Yeah, we're okay.
And not that Hannibal was any kind of like wrestling information, but we know some stuff.
That's true.
Right? So Davio
we got a
says
scoop on Hannibal. We win.
Davio says he was great and head of the class. Maria Davis says he was great in WKRP in Cincinnati.
Wasn't he? He was fantastic. Rest in peace, Johnny Fever.
Did that really upset you?
Yeah, it kind of bothered me a little bit. Johnny Fever's
guy lived a long time.
Yeah, but he's one of the early cool guys.
Universal Talent Booker says, love WKRP in Cincinnati. I loved Lonnie Anderson.
Yeah, didn't we all? But you know what's funny? In retrospect, Bailey
looks good.
Bailey is actually way more beautiful than Lonnie Anderson, bro. I'm serious.
Bailey need to add some friends. She need to add some friends on, though.
No. Bailey was fine.
No,
nice and Leave Bailey alone. It was absolutely beautiful. What, like Valerie Bertinelli needed 2 giant cans?
But
she didn't. No, leave Bailey alone. Leave Valerie Bertinelli alone.
has decent size.
Valerie Bertinelli did not have, like a back brace like Lonnie.
No, I didn't say she was Lonnie.
Lonnie and Dolly Parton were like back brace city. What are you talking about?
All right, you ready?
Burt Reynolds loved it.
All right, cancel culture.
Great.
Brian Kendrick.
I was happy.
Brian Kendrick gets released from the WWE and instantly is announced to wrestle Jon Moxley.
Right.
Last night on whatever that show is, Dynamite.
What is this?
He gets dropped out because of some of the things that he has said. So I thought I would read from his interview some of the things he said. I'd like you to give me some feedback.
Dude, wait.
And tell me if this deserves to be.
Dude.
What?
This is like a book.
I'm not going to read it all.
Are you kidding me?
But I think it's important that you...
Brian Kendrick on ingrown toenails?
All right. Here we go.
Fine.
All right.
This is a bit much.
On the Illuminati.
Yeah, go ahead.
For something to exist, something must exist for it to exist in. These are the people who secretly control the world and keep us in line by distracting us with new video games, insane shows, and so on. Okay. 13 families keep inbreeding, and they are the ones in charge. Okay. The original goal was for the people to be enslaved, but now there are so many are in this world that the plan has changed to mass depopulation through vaccines and such.
Oh, of course.
Thoughts?
Of course. Where can I purchase this fictionalized work of art? Is this something that's...
But is this something to stop the guy from wrestling?
Absolutely not. Go on. So far,
is
no.
it? And is
it
this
just
wait
means? Wait, it just means he's fucking weird.
Wait a minute.
Next.
Is this so out of the realm that?
No. It's okay to have this kind of theory.
It's not that crazy.
I still think that it's an art of fiction, and I'd like to read about it. Like
Understood.
Like 1984 from George Orwell.
I get you.
Yeah.
But it's not so out of control.
No, it's not to be. I don't want to wrestle. I don't want to wrestle with you. No, not yet. What else you got?
Let me see here.
What else you got?
Founded in the 1830s in Ivy League, George W. Bush and George Bush were confirmed members.
Is this the Skull and Bones?
The Skull and Bones.
I thought you were talking about
the forces like Skull and Bones keep the Illuminati with it, but I want to move on from the Illuminati.
Okay, so they're connected to the, we've got everybody
Let's go to 9/11.
Under our power. Oh,
9/11.
Wait a minute, wait.
The official story of the fire causing the steel to bend and eventually collapse the towers, a method of destruction that is never accomplished before in any other burning structure.
It doesn't fly with Brian.
Right. Brian offered that where the towers goes, that Brian describes basically the technology used to obliviate the towers in a microwave wave.
Okay. You want to know my thoughts?
Yeah.
Right. My thoughts is that somebody that is very close to me was there that day, and they saw. You know what? It's funny too because I've seen these there were no planes. Somebody I know very well saw the planes, saw them slam into the buildings.
I don't think you're saying there's no planes, right?
No, not in this particular case. But I'm just saying the conspiracy theories get so insane that there's actually some people who said those weren't planes. There were no planes. Those were whatever the ridiculous explanation was. It wasn't the planes. You know. Meanwhile, I know someone who saw the plane smash into the buildings. One of my other friends was actually in one of the buildings and somehow got out about 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 4 blocks away, whatever, when it fell. And he was way up on the top floors. He saw the other building.
So I could see people taking offense to this.
Yeah, I don't like to touch this, to be very honest. I don't. I actually get crazy when I hear people talking about this stuff.
This was an attempt to further plan to cause the eventual civil war in America. Robbie Parker was caught laughing before being told that he was on, at which point he began to act sad. His daughter was named as a victim and then was photographed 2 days later with Obama. Sandy Hook is supposed to help lead to our guns being removed, and eventually those who continue to push back against the government will be sent to FEMA camps.
How long ago was Sandy Hook, please? How long now?
Probably.
It's been a while, right?
It's been a bit. Yeah.
It's been a while, right?
A lot of lives
this
lost.
was like a
innocent lives.
So this is like a 50-year plan to get the guns out of everybody's hands. What is this? Seriously, hold on. What is this shit? What is this shit? And again, though, by the way, as stupid as all this shit is, I don't know what this has to do with me refusing to wrestle you in a wrestling match.
Thank you.
So far.
All right.
Okay. Even as insane as most of this
goes
stuff
into
seems to be to me.
Weather controlling device. Oh,
weather controlling devices.
And
okay.
Nazis.
What?
The moon may be a hollow space station for aliens.
Okay.
Hitler
Hollow
sent
space
over
station.
10,000 troops to Antarctica to find the inner Earth where the superior beings lived.
Right.
The Holocaust is overblown.
Okay.
And the Red Cross stated, hold on, that it was only 250,000 Jews who were killed, and the number was blown up to justify the creation of Israel.
Oh, of course.
The gas chambers were delousing, and some of the evidence suggests that aliens mocked up death camps to expand the lie. The Russians killed 10 million Catholics during the same period and did not receive a country for their loss. Feedback.
I'm not even going to answer this nonsense. That's absolute horseshit.
Is that enough to stop him from wrestling?
That would be enough for me to never want to work with him. But that's me, because now you've involved, now you're really pushing it. All right, you can have your theories on a lot of other stuff, but when you start to say
PJ says most of
that
us
mass genocides didn't happen.
PJ says most of us know people who died. I went down there, and when I was 16 to feed the first responders. By the way, thank you for that, PJ.
Yes.
Rudy was great then to bring it back early.
Yeah.
Universal talent booking. When you think about Moon and Nazi, I automatically think of pizza.
Nice.
I don't even know what that means.
Nice. Well, if it's bizarre, I'm always going to go nice.
I guess so.
That was bizarre.
That
How
is
bizarre?
weird.
How bizarre?
So, how
bizarre?
As a Jew, which you are,
I'm actually one of the. I'm like Miller Lite.
Gotcha.
I feel strongly both ways.
I understand.
Because I have.
Do you take
I have
major,
Greek and Irish.
do you,
Now, hold on. I
right.
want the fans to understand this, though. I have Greek and Irish blood. I am an adopted American, and I was raised by Jews. So I actually have both sides of a very interesting two-sided coin.
He goes on to speak about JFK's assassination being fake.
Fake.
Jimi Hendrix was murdered as well as
JFK's
Tupac.
brains were not blown out on a Dallas, Texas street.
He said Jimi Hendrix was murdered as well as Tupac. Tupac openly spoke against
sure. It had nothing to do with all the booze
Michael
and the
Jackson
drugs.
faked his death. He was even there when Larry King betrayed a fan friend.
I just saw Michael Jackson and Jim Morrison and Elvis Presley at the pool hall. Did I tell you? No? You don't believe me? Why do you not believe me?
Bigfoot should have left behind some bones to be found at this point, so Brian is leery to believe in the Sasquatch.
Right. Okay, well, Sasquatch that's fine. I can actually, where are the bones?
The moon landing. The space radiation is too great for humans to survive a trip to space. This is a disinformation to win the space race against Russia.
So the Russians
and this was filmed in the back with Stanley Kubrick.
The Russians also fake filmed the Sputnik and all whatever else, the other things they were doing.
So you don't think there's a possibility that
could be a possibility.
The moon was the going to the moon was fake?
Yeah, it could be.
And
it
was in a movie theater.
Now ask me in my heart of hearts if I think that really didn't happen, because I think it
did. It happen or didn't happen?
I think Armstrong and the boys got up there. Yeah, I do. Why wouldn't I? There's some things we have kind of pulled off. We obviously haven't been able to get much further. So my question is this.
Obviously, people could get offended.
It'd be nice if we could.
People could get offended by this type of banter.
Yeah, this is rough, dude.
But my question goes back to almost the Tommy Dreamer theory.
Yeah.
Why is Brian Kendrick now, and Matt, if you could put that up, apologizing.
Brian Kendrick himself, the man.
Apologizing for these comments. He put on Twitter, I spread the most vile comics without thinking of the damage that it would cause.
Right.
I will live with regret for the rest of my life.
Oh, it's
I'm
just
truly sorry for the pain I caused.
Stop it. It's just a statement. Who the hell's buying that anyway? He's just going through the motions to get people to simmer down. And the things that he said, you know what? Some of them are just ridiculous and to laugh off, and some of them are not. Some of them, to me, are like, you ass, you know? But at the same time, though, why is he saying this stuff publicly anyway? I don't understand a person's need to show an asinine side of themselves. What is wrong with you? Why did he have to say these things publicly at all?
It was a shoot interview.
Can't you just shut the F up and know the difference when not to talk about shit like that? You know? And by the way, I don't ever question a genocide from anybody's background.
Why? Billy Jack Haynes was in our studio, and he said
Billy
that...
Jack Haynes?
Billy Jack Haynes, remember when he was in our studio? He said that Vince McMahon... I'm quoting Billy Jack, that Vince McMahon impregnated Nancy Benoit, and that's why Benoit killed Nancy.
Yeah. Well, Billy Jack's a little cuckoo sometimes. And he brought me a nice orange juice the last time.
So he's good.
So, yeah, he's just Billy Jack. I mean, what am I going to do, judge him? Just keep it to yourself if you got something insane to say. What am I talking about? I do this every week. This is rough.
And what's the deal with Tony Khan?
But I'm not telling everybody that the Holocaust didn't happen.
What's the deal with Tony Khan?
That's insane.
What's the deal with Tony Khan? All of a sudden, he says, I saw these comments had been around for 7 years.
Didn't Sammy Guevara say he wanted to rape somebody?
Yes, he did.
He's still working for Khan. So what? Who's the hypocrite here?
Let me ask you this. Talk about a hypocrite. John Moxley, clearly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. What about
Role
John?
model
What
for
about
kids,
John?
right?
No, not with that gimmick.
But no, I'm not even talking about the gimmick. How
John
about the
Moxley,
real life
current-
John Moxley?
Is he a role model for kids?
Your kids are watching wrestling.
Yeah, but does that mean the Iron Sheik was a role model for kids?
You're missing my
They
point.
were watching
You're
wrestling.
missing my point.
What?
Some knucklehead goes out there and talks
Which
about the
knucklehead?
moon, Kendrick.
Kendrick.
And by the way,
Okay.
does it really matter if Kendrick wrestles or not? I could care less.
Does it
anyway.
really matter what Kendrick says?
No. But my
He's
point
Brian
is,
Kendrick.
John Moxley,
Who cares?
who clearly is a drunk,
Yes.
a recovering drunk.
He's recovering. Leave
Okay,
him alone.
he's a recovering
What?
drunk.
So he's trying.
But he's not canceled out by people.
No, because he didn't say that the Holocaust never happened.
He just drove drunk, and
Did he kill?
whatever.
Did he?
No, he got lucky. He didn't kill anybody.
Okay. Well, shoot for that.
But he wrote a book.
Did he write a book? Did he write it drunk?
Let me ask you this. I'm gonna go into something else.
Wait a little bit.
I'm gonna go into something else. I really
comes
want
Dean.
your feedback on it.
No, you got me going
I was listening
crazy.
to a
What?
podcast.
What do you want?
Okay.
Yeah.
And-
See? There you are. Was this the guy
I
down the
admit I
block?
listened to him.
I don't. I don't ever say I
Well,
need
that's
to
why you
watch
got
a
me.
certain
I
channel.
can tell you stories.
All right, hit it. So you will watch.
So
this certain
Paige
pub.
Von Hess Sutherland.
Paige?
You remember Kurt Von Hess, older wrestler?
Yeah, vaguely.
Vaguely, right?
Vaguely.
But his gimmick was a German, right?
Yeah.
He didn't wear a swastika or anything like that.
Okay.
But this is the 70s.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And he's the German, right? Just like Fritz von Erich and whatever else you want to do.
Okay.
She says, this is the daughter, when asked about Gunther in this podcast,
Yeah.
she thinks it's a disgrace
Yeah.
and immoral
Yeah.
to even have that kind of character in today's day and time.
Whether we, honestly, I don't think that it would ever get on the air now. No.
Wait a minute. My point to you
You're
is
talking
this,
like a
though.
Nazi commander or a Nazi? No.
But
that's
here's
never
my
getting on
point.
the air.
And she said she was offended.
I don't think it
she
should.
was personally offended.
I wouldn't want to see it. Would I be offended? I don't know about that, but I would probably be looking
Gunther,
at it going,
Gunther is a
when I hear the word, no, that wasn't the problem. The problem is that Gunther's original name involved the last
By
name.
the way, Mr. X says if I was married to Renee Paquette, I'd be an alcoholic too. But you're using our line. buddy.
Wow.
I would be.
Holy.
I'd be drunk too. Here's my point.
Wait. I gotta get
go
this in
ahead,
though.
go
No, it's important
I got
though.
you.
Gunther's original character, Walter, when they wanted to change Walter, was Gunther. I can't remember the last name right now, but there was a last name.
Gotcha.
It turns out that Gunther, with the last name they intended to use, was a Nazi commander. Bad idea. Who the hell came up with this? And I got to be honest, I don't even know if they really knew that this was the deal, that this name that they had come up with was
Fine,
the exact.
but they didn't give him the
you know?
name.
Right.
All right.
Right, and they switched it to Gunther.
Okay.
Now, to me, it's no longer offensive. It's just stupid. Because Walter worked for him, and we've been through this before. So as far as that goes, You know, why if she's offended by
Lou,
the original?
Lou says Dean Moxley is overrated, drunk or not.
Interesting. Yeah, you know, he's
I agree.
He's no tactician.
My point is, just because that's your daddy, which, by the way, in the 70s, I don't even know if kids nowadays even know what Nazis are. I got to be honest with you.
I can't say.
I
sure
don't
that
know.
some do.
Of course.
I'm sure some do.
Some know who Leonard Skinner is, too.
That's true,
Some
too.
don't, right?
Good old country boys.
So my point is, because that's your daddy, and I think in the 70s, being a practicing Jew or anybody that was closer to that time where that horrible shit went on.
Understood. Okay,
Right?
I gotcha.
It was okay for daddy to portray a German, not quite a Nazi German, but now it's not okay?
Right.
I would think back then it was probably worse.
And you know why people bitched less?
But she's got pictures of her daddy all over the place,
People bitched less back then because they were put through more. People were tougher back then.
And how about...
And no, I'm not just saying this because I'm from back then. Honestly, I was just a little child in the 70s, and I can tell you right for a fact, there was nobody tougher than my Russian Jewish grandfather who survived all the shit that you're talking about.
Right.
This was a big-boned, tough man. And as far as the wrestling goes, I'm sure he probably looked at it and said, who gives a shit? I'm free and happy.
I'm just talking about the agenda garbage, right?
Yeah,
I
totally agree.
seriously.
Today they're having a meltdown when past generations who actually
Paige
directly
Von
experienced
Hess-
these things.
Paige Von Hess Sutherland. Mm-hmm. How dare you say that you're offended now, but you're not offended every time you get out of bed and you see a picture of your daddy
who was
in
doing
his
this,
wrestling gimmick.
Who was doing
You're
this.
not offended by that.
Right. There were people who had actually survived those concentration camps, came to America.
Thank you.
Was watching their television in 1974, and sure, you're freaking pop.
And got angry.
Yeah, and I bet you're not.
Went to the
I bet
wrestling
you're not
matches.
crying a river for them, are you?
No.
So you're right. Yeah, hypocrite. Good job there, Mike. That's excellent.
bad.
Well, it's the truth.
So we found out now
and
that
it's pretty deep, and I hope everybody caught it because it's the truth.
It is deep.
I think that's fantastic.
And again, big deal. Brian Kendrick has these weird, whacked out ideas. Okay, so he doesn't.
Yeah, but shut your mouth about the genocide shit, bro.
It's stupid.
No, seriously.
It's just
Shut your
stupidity,
mouth.
dude.
And you know what
It's
that is?
stupidity.
That is drawing a line. And I got to be honest between you. You served our country, and thank you for that.
Right.
But I get pissed off at the 9/11 conspiracy theories too.
Sure.
Like, it's so outrageous to believe that there's a hateful faction over in the Middle East that wants certain people dead and have wanted them dead. It's documented for thousands of years. It's so outlandish to think that they got together and found a way to attack the country that always supports the country.
But you know what's funny about it?
Oh, that's just impossible to believe.
But you know what,
like hate's never existed.
You know what
Forever.
really pisses me off, dude?
It's so
Is
predictable.
This. All this crap can go on and people get canceled, but Bill Maher can talk about Jesus Christ as a comic book.
Right.
But that's okay.
What about Whoopi Goldberg? At least she got her comeuppance this week.
What happened with that?
She was talking shit about, the Holocaust was just white people killing white people. You know what?
She said that?
Yeah, she said that.
Wow.
You know what? Suck it. Can I use the wrestling? We'll stick to wrestling.
Wow.
2 words for you.
Didn't
Suck
know
it.
that. With that, though, we'll take a quick commercial break.
Suspended for 2 weeks, by the way.
We'll take 2 weeks only.
Only 2 weeks.
Brian Kendrick.
White people killing white people is her description of the Holocaust, and she only goes away for 2 weeks. Brian Kendrick's not allowed to wrestle ever again.
There you go.
What the fuck?
With that, we'll take a commercial break.
We'll take a break. Oy, bathroom break. See you in a sec.
The Monte and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite 4-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah. And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB. Elm Logistics, for all your logistic needs. Call 631-299-3595. That's 631-299-3595. Elm Global Logistics. Pride, performance, and partnerships.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh. Some really good comments. I got to tell you, Mr. X, you're hitting home runs here. He goes, Teenagers and millennials know what Nazis are. They are anyone who disagrees with them.
Fact.
Hey, Universal Talent Book, it says Joe Biden and Charles Manson are first cousins.
Leave Charlie out of this.
Maria Davis says Whoopi got suspended 2 weeks and then she came back with her so-called apology and she should have been fired.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I didn't hear it. I didn't see it, so it's the first time hearing. If she did, again,
screw your
people
apology.
people get more fired. Get fired over more stuff than that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All right, backstage talk on why Vince McMahon was upset with Shane McMahon. New details are being revealed that Shane McMahon's behavior on the day of the Royal Rumble this past Saturday. It was reported earlier this week that McMahon was quietly let go from the WWE due to a significant heat he received from his role as producer and writer of the Men's Royal Rumble this past Saturday. Shane competed in the match. He was reportedly heavily criticized on how he took charge of the booking and tried to make the match about himself. Initial reports show that Shane's heat from the Rumble debacle, chairman and CEO Vince McMahon Sr. making decisions let his son go.
Wow.
Allegedly, Shane pulled Vince McMahon card and took over the show. And what else happened?
He's out of control.
He was scheduled to be in the Elimination Chamber,
my
but
God.
he had an argument with Vince about it because he wanted to do something else. Thoughts on that whole thing, brother?
Man, it's really insane. Like, we always talk about the writers, this, that. I didn't realize Shane at any time could just grab the pen. All right, I'm doing this. I'm like, what do you mean Shane wrote the Royal Rumble script? I'm shocked at that. No one else is surprised to hear this. Because you always hear about the writers. They hired this guy. They got this writer. They got Dewey. They got all these writers.
How does Dewey survive all this, by the way?
Because he's a Foley. He's baby Foley's lovely grandboy.
Nice.
He's just loved, just like Mick, and that's the Foley way of doing things. Loved. But I think this is shocking, the fact that he was able to just go and write himself in. And by the way, it was ridiculous. I could see why all the wrestlers were like, fuck this guy. This is insane. You have Shane McMahon with his stupid little rabbit punches, and he's beating up Matt Riddle, a trained cage fighter, a trained MMA guy. This was horrible. It was terrible.
Wow.
Shane has got himself canned. Wow. I wonder how that went. Do you think Vince gave him the big hearty, you're fired?
No, I think the WWE is starting to cave in to their wrestlers a little bit.
Well, they should in this case. Like you said, Shane wrestles once a year to,
It's got to get his payday.
Fuck his payday.
Really?
Fuck that. Get out of here, Shane. Go home.
Wow.
Fuck that.
Shane
what do you think,
O'Mac,
Chris
man.
Jericho or something? Get out of here. You can't get away with this.
Shane McMahon Hall of Famer?
Yes, he is. He's the first ballot Hall of Fame. Of course he is. But he's a specialist, let's be fair. And I've seen enough of his special. His special, especially in the last few years, is I'll see you once a year, I'll jump off of something, and I'll smash everything to smithereens and lose.
Wow.
Whether it's to the Kevin Owens or whoever it's to. I don't want to see that once a year anymore. I'd be tired. Bye. And then you take over the Royal Rumble.
Well, the rumor...
Get out of here.
The rumor, I think we discussed,
and he's been wonderful in the past.
But Shane wanted to wrestle Seth.
Yeah, hate it.
Vince wanted it to be the angle to be Shane against Austin Theory.
Love it.
And
Love
Shane
it.
didn't want that.
Yeah,
and I heard that was the
because
argument.
Vince has picked Austin Theory and Shane would have an issue with it and stuff. That would have been cool. So Vince, if that was Vince's idea, that was a good idea. The Seth Rollins, Shane McMahon thing, see, that's where...
Luce agrees with you, says
I hate
Shane
it.
O'Mac in the ring is getting a bit much.
Oh, absolutely, dude. He's got nothing left except those stupid rabbit punches anyway and jumping off of something. And I hate the way he throws a punch. I always have. That's terrible. It's not convincing in the least.
What do you think about the rumors that Shane's going to go to AEW?
I think people have really lost their minds.
Well, Brian Kendrick said
Brian Kendrick said it.
Yeah.
I knew it all along. I knew that when he grabbed that pen, he was destined for AEW. Did I ever tell you about the aliens that flew their spaceships into the Verrazano Bridge? I never told you that one? The Verrazano Bridge was built by aliens. You didn't know? This is ridiculous. It really is.
Tavio says, Shane, good luck with your future endeavors, and after the 90 days, see you on Impact.
On Impact. That'd be great. Maybe that's why they let her come out and show the Impact.
Dude,
because Shane's going to Impact.
Come on, do you really think this is such a big deal?
I don't care.
No, but my point is, like, everybody's like,
care?
flipping. Do you think it's really that big of a deal?
In the wrestling world, this is a dream. Vince McMahon has fired his son. For a guy who loves a juicy story, you sit there.
It's like stupid.
Anybody really think this
First
is
of all,
a
okay,
big deal?
Shane really wanted
This is
nothing.
a
He wanted
huge
nothing to
deal.
do with the wrestling business
kill
for
me.
so long.
Right. And now he's like, I'm winning everything. Shane,
That in itself is
Shane, you
great.
didn't give a fuck for like 10 years. I don't care. Tonight, I win everything. What about WrestleMania? I'm going straight to it. He starts pointing at the sign. Everybody's like looking at him like, Dad, Vince, get your kid out of here. He's gone nuts. Maybe he was tripping. Maybe somebody like laced his shit. And he went in there and grabbed the pen. That's not how this is going to go. Give me that.
What do you think
I don't know. I try
Tony
not to
Khan
think.
would pay
Hearts-
to have Shane McMahon show
He
up at
would
AEW?
give him. I'll give you my house. You can have the football team. They suck.
He'd be. What if Shane said, "I'll come only if you make me AEW champion"?
Oh, it'll be like David Arquette all over again. You're a new champion, Shane McMahon.
Do you think there's a possibility this does happen and Shane's gonna, like you said, eat him up from the inside?
Would you? I'm gonna kill that creation. I'm gonna kill it, and he's gonna do it with a lethal injection of poison.
Oh my God!
Remember that speech that Vince gave when he was bringing the NWO in to kill his own creation?
Oh, Marty Greenfield's here. He's saying Shane versus Matt Cardona in a GCW death match.
Somebody kill me,
Dude.
That better be pay-per-view. You give me $49.95 to watch it.
You know, speaking of Cardona's made a pretty
You gotta
good
stop,
living
though.
for himself.
Yeah, he's
though,
doing
dude.
fine. That's great and all, but I've never seen some people. He's Zack Ryder. I'm sorry.
That's
He's
what I'm
always
saying,
gonna
like-
be. I can't get past it. I can't, and he's doing great. Don't get me wrong, but it just makes me laugh when I see shit like this. You know. But good for him.
Maria Davis says Disney will be the bank for Vince.
Disney. I hope not, man. Imagine if it's pro wrestling is no longer.
Dude, I don't even know if Triple H is still alive, dude.
That's
Like, no
true.
one's heard a word from this guy.
He's hanging out with the leader of Korea. Dude, they disappeared.
I'm serious. Like, you don't, like,
Yeah, I
this
don't know.
guy, this
I
guy
don't
had
know.
to probably take a really bad heart
You
attack.
know, it's funny, too. So I saw a sub-comment after Shane was let go, you're next, Triple H. it could be true. Triple H could be fired in a few weeks. I don't know what is happening here. It's getting so strange.
But first of all, Shane wasn't fired, okay?
Yeah, he was. He was fired.
That's according
they
to
released
Meltzer.
him. Yeah, and you know what's funny? Vince is at the dinner table.
Wait a minute. How do
He's
you
giving
release
him the money
someone?
under the table?
How do you
like,
release
physically.
someone who wasn't even, like, just showed up 10 years? How do you?
know.
Come on, man.
Like, there's really a contract. Son, sign this contract. You know, there probably is.
Wait, let me ask you this.
That's so weird.
What are the two possibilities?
Wow, what a weird
here?
family.
Shane
That's gotta be
came back
rough.
just for the Royal Rumble and he's done, or he was fired. Which one are you going with?
I think that he was. I think he just went home, and they were like, "Let's get some juice out of this."
Yeah.
So we'll make a story.
I was here. I left.
Can you see Vince calling him over? I got a great one. What do you think about it that I fired you? You're like, wow, that's brilliant, Dad.
Here's a telling thing about
So
Vince
when he
McMahon.
comes back unannounced, everybody will be like, "Holy shit! Holy shit!"
Remember this. The one thing I remember that Vince said, which I thought was really telling. Remember the documentaries on A&E?
Yeah.
You know, they had the Ultimate Warrior one.
Yeah. Okay.
So on the Ultimate Warrior one, they talked about how Warrior, Hellwig, looked up to Vince as his father. Vince, quote, says, I only have one son.
Yeah.
But, like, that was a
wait,
very
wait.
telling statement.
Stephanie?
No. Enough of the jokes.
What? But that's the truth.
James Earl says Triple H is AEW bound.
Never. None of them are going to wind up in AEW. Wouldn't that be
Why
great,
would
though?
you leave
They would not do that. It's just not
millions
happening.
and
But
millions
if it did,
and millions of dollars
but
to go
if
to
it
AEW?
did,
Yeah.
like if Shane and Triple H show up over there, we're talking Game of Thrones, man.
Why, CM Punk will
This
quit.
shit is
He'll quit.
I'm going to Vince. Hello, Vince. I can't anymore with these people. That's it. I'm quitting. I'm going to the other side.
I can't get over the
I
fact that
can't.
AEW cancels Brian Kendrick because
Right.
he said
Right.
the moonwalk was fake.
I don't want to talk to you. What do you mean? That's it. I'm
And
done
how
with
does the
you.
guy apologize? Like, what are you
I know,
apologizing
I love
for?
that.
You're an idiot.
You know what though? I mean,
I think someone said it here that he was high as fuck during that
He
interview.
probably,
okay.
he probably was.
Oh well.
And honestly, of all these crazy things he was saying, the only one that's really, really pushing the envelope is when you start questioning
There was
the
other
genocide.
shit. There was some other shit.
No, but that was just stupid, though. But ignorance is another story.
Said Michael Jackson
You know what? It's probably
faked his death.
That's true. I told you. I saw him at the pool hall with Elvis and Jim Morrison. It was insane. You know what was weird though? Elvis was winning. He was winning the pool match. I figured that it would be.
Dude, Elvis would be like 85 years old right now.
Yeah, but those guys don't age. They're aliens.
Oh, so
you didn't know that?
Oh, that's right.
John Lennon is an alien. He didn't die.
Is that
whole
something
thing was
that goes
fake.
on here?
That whole thing was fake. Brian Kendrick told me so.
This is going off the rails.
It was off the rails when you said goodnight.
Yeah, Lou said that Kendrick was high as
fuck. Is
was
that
high
half?
as AF.
Oh, AF.
Because we don't want to curse.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. We just did. Next.
All right, well,
Are you wrestling Hook this week, Mike?
I'm not wrestling Hook.
Why not?
That's about it, man. I got nothing
What
else.
about what CM Punk said about the chance of having to wrestle Hook?
Is that what he
Did
said?
Did you hear what he said?
No.
You don't know. Oh, you're
no
gonna love
interest.
this one. They asked him what he thought about possibly wrestling Hook, and his quote was, "Isn't he like a teenager? I could get arrested for that."
Is that what he said?
That was his answer. I was like, wow, look at him.
I heard he had a good match with MJF last night.
Yeah, isn't that amazing though? MJF gets put over. I thought that was a very smart booking decision.
Ooh, Davio says Vince is clearing all family from WWE because he knows Disney will destroy them.
Interesting. Yeah, so he's getting them out the door before he sells.
Now here's something really
Boy, this is
offensive. And
rough.
Universe Talent Booking, you're now going to be suspended because this is unacceptable.
Suspended?
Yeah.
For what?
He said Hulk Hogan is a lesbian.
I never want to hear from him again. I'm just kidding. What you gonna do, brother, when my lesbian tendencies run wild on you?
Roy Batiste says, Roy says, rumor is Triple H and Shane will start their own promotion together.
What are they gonna call it? Jump?
I think,
Jump off the ledge?
dude,
What are they gonna call it?
look.
I don't know.
Chris Lee says Elvis would be 87.
Would he be?
Only Chris
87?
would know that. I would. I thought
Yeah,
it
that's
was going
cool.
to be
Well,
like
John Lennon would be 82, and I know that
Why do you know that?
because John Lennon was born in October of 1940, and he died in December of 1980.
Lou says Davio, you might be right. Huh?
I don't know about these.
Lou says
crazy
nobody
things. This
took
has
him
been a
serious. Kendrick was
wacky
talking all
week.
sorts of nonsense at that time.
Yeah, Kendrick.
First of all, no one even knows who Brian Kendrick is.
That's what's
That's
funny.
the joke.
That's the funniest part
It's
about
like,
this.
who cares?
go
It's
down the
Brian
street.
Kendrick.
Go down the street and ask 100 people, even in our hometown.
But it's not.
Nobody's gonna
When
know.
they announced that Moxley was wrestling Kendrick, you're like, oh man, I got to turn into Dynamite tonight.
I wasn't thinking that.
Who you thinking?
I was thinking, are you serious? What's next? Who are you
I was
bringing
like,
back
who
next?
cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
I mean, break out Eugene, man.
Oh,
Give him a
my
match.
God.
Let Eugene wrestle.
Matthew Holland says October 9th. Did we say a wrong date?
October 9th for what?
I don't know. Is that when, what's his name was born?
Huh?
Lennon?
Who, John?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the exact date, but, you know. See, I'm not such a mark after all.
Davio says, remember, you heard it here first. Oh,
I
it's
knew it was
Marty's
October.
birthday. Today, Maria?
Marty Jannetty's?
It's Marty Jannetty's birthday
Wait
today.
a second, does Marty know? It's what? Marty, it's your birthday.
For his birthday, everybody should donate to the Big Fat Whale's bank account.
Yeah, but
help
where
him.
is Marty? I don't think anybody even knows where
All
he
right,
is.
anyway, we're out of time. want to thank
Okay.
everybody for joining us. Davio will be great at the credit card here, playa. Hold on. Wait a minute. Davio says it would have been Kerry Von Erich's birthday as well.
Wow.
Wow.
I wonder how old he would have been. I have no idea.
We would have had him in studio. Dude.
Yeah, we would have. I know you would have
Oh,
made
my
sure.
God. Hell yeah.
Yep.
That would have been great.
Yep. You would have been calling the Von Erichs off the hook.
Oh, Universal Talent Booking says Outback Jack should have been ECW and WWE World Champion. We'll have to ask him when he's in studio.
Interesting. Especially if Hogan was a lesbian. I mean, what's he doing holding the belt?
I don't know, but whatever. Anyway, I want to thank you all for joining us. Pharaoh, send us out. I don't even know anything else to say.
You've
I
been
don't know
watching
what
an
to say.
exhausted Monty and the Pharaoh.
It's
and,
Haku's birthday, too. Who else's birthday is today?
Wow, what a day! What a day!
What
to
is
be,
what is
a day to be-
February 3rd?
What a day to be made in a lab by aliens. You've been watching Monty and the Pharaoh. And until next week, keep your conspiracies to yourselves.
Maria, we'll text them, too. Have a good night, everybody.
Later.